Yeah. Anyway, so back in the days of the grandfathers, pre-European contact, the story goes is we didn't know about Jesus, but we knew about God. We called him Gitchimanadu, the Great Spirit. And we prayed and we followed the laws of the Creator. We didn't have a book called the Gagikwe Minawana Goes. No, what is it called? Gagikwe Mazini Igan.
Yeah.
Gagikwe Mazini Igan is called the Bible. Yeah, the preach book. But so it was like when we first met non-Indian people, not the English speakers and the French speakers, they brought with them the Bible and they started to teach about Jesus. And they told us a story of a time back in the ancestor days when Gitchimanadu sent his son. He made a human woman named Mary pregnant. We don't know how. It's none of my business. But Mary gets pregnant, has Gitchimanadu's son in a manger. Some wise men come and give him gold for some reason. Here you go. Oh, what would be a good baby gift? I know. How about some frankincense and myrrh? And the third wise man was like, I'm going to give him some cash.
No.
This couple looks broke. They couldn't even, they couldn't even afford to go to the hospital. They had to have a baby in a manger.
Yeah. Huh?
But, so then Jesus grows up. And he's got some half brothers and sisters there. He's got a little brother named James. And you know how like brothers are, little brothers are always following their big brother's example.
Yeah.
There's sometimes some sibling rivalry there. And it was hard on James. Everybody forgets poor little brother to Jesus. Jesus was just good at everything. He's better in sports. He could walk on water. James could hardly swim. Everybody would always compare him to Jesus. Why can't you be more like your brother Jesus? It was tough. In fact, this isn't in the Bible, but you know that in the Bible they say the first time Jesus ever did a miracle is when he turned water into wine. Family gets invited to a wedding and they go to this wedding, it's Mary and Jesus and James and some cousins and whatever, and in those days weddings were even a bigger deal than they are now. People would party for days and be a big feast and whole family, it was very, very important that you go to the wedding. So they go to the wedding and everything's great. And, but what happens? 9-10 o'clock rolls around, they drunk up all the wine. And they're like, oh crap, this party was just getting started, we're all out of wine. So Mary, she pulls Jesus aside and she goes, listen, my boy, this party is going to dry up if we don't have any wine. You think you can, do your little thing? And Jesus is like, oh, come on, Mom. I don't think it's time yet. She goes, come on, do this for me, my boy. Honor your mother and father. And so Jesus is like, all right. And he prays and poof, water into wine. And the dad grabs a glass of wine and he drinks it down. He's like, oh, wow, this is really good wine. Man, usually, this is actually in the Bible. He goes, usually people, they put out the good wine at first and save the crap for after everybody's drunk. We're all drunk, and this is the best wine I've ever tasted in my whole life. And I'm an alcoholic. No. You didn't say that, but... And I always thought that was cool. They're like, of course, when Jesus makes some wine, it's going to be just, just the finest wine.
Yeah.
But... So then, the party on and whatever. Next weekend, same thing. New new couples getting married. The Joseph and Mary family get invited. But this time, Jesus is gone now. He had to leave. But James is there. And, the wedding happens. They have the feast, the dancing and all this stuff. And they drink up the wine. And same thing happens. They run out of wine. And the guys are like, hey, James. Yeah? We're out of wine. What do you want me to do about it? No. Yeah. So, last weekend, your brother Jesus, he really kind of saved the party. Yeah, I know. I'm not him, okay? I can't do that stuff. I'm just James. Oh, poor James. Yeah. So, people always had, James disappointed a lot of people by not being more like his brother Jesus.